Welcome to the webinar, everyone. Glad to have you here. So before Andreas and I start our discussion around cross-enterprise supply chain collaboration, we'll do a quick 5 minutes of introduction. So I'm Jeremy Eaton. I'm part of the technology and consulting leadership group in the retail and consumer goods practice with Endava. Endava are an IT services organization, so we kind of have 3 pillars: traditional IT services, business and technology consulting and strategy, and more kind of creative agency and channel optimization type work. And we work across many different industries. My background is technology and management consultancy. I've worked with a couple of the larger consultancies, and also with a couple of software companies as well over the last nearly 25 years, mostly in e-commerce, supply chain, fulfillment, last mile fulfillment type domains. So welcome everyone. Andreas, do you want to give us a quick intro of yourself and Ecovium?
Yeah, thank you very much, Jeremy. Thanks for the invitation to join this webinar today. My name is Andreas. I'm the Chief Product and Technology Officer of Ecovium. We are a company providing any kind of logistics software for our customers, from warehouse, transport management, shipping, and customs. I'm with Ecovium since 2.5 years. I'm in the overall software business since 25 years. Haven't done anything else than developing some kind of software for customers. So they have a lot of experience in this space. Before we enter now into a little bit of discussion about the multi-enterprise collaboration network topic, I would like to a little bit share some information about Ecovium and why this topic is an important topic for our customers. Just give me a second. And I hope now that everyone can see my screen.
Yeah.
Good. Ecovium is a company that has been grown over the last years by acquiring smaller companies in the logistics space. So we have more than 400 employees. Meanwhile, we have more than 5,000 customers, and because of adding additional companies, adding additional solutions to our portfolio, we have right now more than 30 different individual software solutions. Those kind of software solutions we are typically implementing in customer projects, and we are integrating those solutions in customer projects, in many cases very customer specific. What we have seen over the last years is that customers are moving away from a more enterprise-centric view to a much more end-to-end view to really manage the whole supply chain and to manage their partners, their customers, their vendors as well. And that's the reason why we have moved in a direction where we have said we have to give our customers a solution that is much more than just the combination of single products, but really a true multi-enterprise collaboration network solution that allow our customers to communicate and to organize their supply chain really end-to-end. Our focus at Ecovium is to help our customers on 2 dimensions. One is the ecological and also the economical balance sheet, because we strongly believe that you can make successful business without losing track and without ignoring the ecological dimension as well. So when we decided to move into a more integrated solution and going away from just connecting single solutions, we have decided to go in a way where we have said this kind of integrating our solutions and this kind of really end-to-end view is something we put into the cloud. And this is exactly what we call the simple chain. And on our software solution running in the cloud, the simple chain platform, Endava is a very important partner to us. So we are partnering with Endava to really get support on getting our roadmap on the simple chain platform on track. So what is a simple chain? What we call a simple chain, there's first of all a simple chain experience. That's our promise we give to our customers, that they get really a seamless end-to-end logistics experience where we combine our products, business consulting, implementation consulting, and support processes in one end-to-end solution. And how are we doing this? And we are doing this by providing a simple chain platform that is completely running in the cloud. And this platform is at the end our operating system for our end-to-end logistics solution. So it contains all cloud native products, which are in the green box you see. It connects also our own, but also third-party cloud products, which are not running directly on the simple chain platform, but can be connected to the simple chain platform. And we are also able to connect any on-premise system to the simple chain platform, because we have many customers in our customer base who are successfully running one of our on-premise products, but they would like to integrate them with new or additional cloud products. So we are very flexible, and with a simple chain platform, by connecting different products our customers are using. And then in the simple chain platform, what we are doing there is really a business process orchestration and monitoring, where we then give the customers a complete view about the whole supply chain. So not to go into all details, but as I said, the simple chain platform is for us the operating system. It's a solution we are building completely in the cloud, and it's the operating system for all products we have, and with a strong focus on 4 areas. So one is we focus on standardized processes that really span across product boundaries. And as I said before, these products can be cloud or on-premise. We are investing into an unified data model that spans all products we have, and we are modeling at the end the processes based on digital twins, so the real-world objects. We have, from the first day on, made sure that we focus on adaptability, because many of our customers using cloud solutions, they use cloud solutions by purpose, going in a way where they say they would like to have standard solutions. They would like to move away from very individual solutions. However, there is not the one and only standard. So what we do is we have standard processes, but we have defined checkpoints, defined points in the process where customers can at the end adapt the process, can change the process, and can change the process to their needs. And then last but not least, we have focused on a hybrid model, because as I said already before, we have a lot of customers coming with our on-premise products, but they are highly interested to move into the cloud. And with the capabilities we offer of combining cloud and on-premise products via our simple chain platform, we allow each of our customers to go their speed. So some of them are fast and moving fast to our cloud solutions. Others are a little bit slower for various good reasons. They stay on on-premise products and add cloud products over time. So that's possible with the simple chain platform, and that's what we call composability. So last slide, as a teaser for our discussion, we are focusing on 3 big topics when we talk about the simple chain platform. One is really a unified data model with digital twins. That's the underlying integration for us, that different products from different vendors, third-party, Ecovium, running in the cloud, running on-premise, can communicate. So it's all going via one data model. We are focusing on composability, that our customers can very flexible combine different products, and the full control about the business process is fully in the cloud. And last but not least, adaptability, where it's all about standard processes where we can standardize, but giving our customers enough freedom and flexibility to adjust the processes to their individual needs.
So for anyone that hasn't seen it, there's some chat functionality in the webinar. Please put any questions that you have within that chat window, and we'll try to get some at the end. So I guess one of my main questions is, there's clearly been digital collaboration for many years. So for instance, EDI, maybe that's 60 years old, something along those lines. So I think what I'm most interested in is what's driving the trend behind these kind of networks. What's changed? Why is it easier now? Those kind of what are the kind of benefits that your customers are seeing when they're using these kind of networks as well?
So first of all, let's start with the drivers. So why do we see this kind of trend to go to distributed enterprise networks, or how we call it, multi-enterprise collaboration networks? So first of all, it's clearly driven by the business. So also we talk a lot about this kind of collaboration piece. We very often forget that no company, no enterprise was ever alone, right? You always have some kind of suppliers, you always have partners, you always have customers. So they were always in some kind of network. However, the need to collaborate more efficiently is growing. And that's also what we see from our customer base. It can be cost-driven, it can be driven by getting more information about sustainability topics. There are various reasons, but there is a high pressure to collaborate across the borders of the own enterprise more efficiently. Then today, a lot of processes are still very enterprise-centric. But if you really want to control the supply chain, if you really want to control logistic processes end to end, focusing on the enterprise alone is not enough anymore. So the second driver where we see a high pressure from our customers to say, hey, we need more insights, we need to optimize processes, including all partners of any tier, of any type. Then optimizations are today very often done by an object. For example, you optimize your process around an order, but not by the outcome of a process. But if you want to optimize by the outcome of a process, you have to have more information about the process and cannot just have the information about a single object. So another driver why this kind of collaboration and cross-enterprise collaboration becomes more important. Then the data you need to optimize, the data you need for more transparency, is very often not only within your own enterprise. There is a lot of data outside your own enterprise you have to incorporate. Another reason why this kind of collaboration becomes more important. Using data is still very difficult, and this belongs to the previous topic. So even here, the collaboration platform makes it easier for you to get the information you need. Then a big driver is, of course, overall, there's a higher degree of digitalization. So there is much more information available in a digital way. And that's now more technical drivers we see. There is a better and faster integration possible because of APIs, because of cloud, which wasn't there 10 years ago. And of course, there is an emergence of composability. So it's much easier to combine different modules, different pieces with existing technology. So these kind of topics together, drivers from the market and the technology drivers, are the ones at the end that drive this kind of need for the multi-enterprise collaboration.
Excellent, thanks, Andreas. And what would you say are the most important differences in the ways that you're working at the moment and the ways your clients are working with you?
Yeah, I think this kind of trends and then of course this move and this request from our clients changed a lot of things for us as a solution provider as well. And I think Ecovium is here a great example. what has changed from a vendor perspective. So instead of integrating single, mostly on-premise solutions in a specific customer project with a lot of customer-specific interfaces, the integration of components happens on one platform, and this platform runs in the cloud. Instead of having business process transparency and problem resolution being located in one software system, there's now a central console, a central platform where all this information comes together. And this, of course, has an influence to all software vendors. And Ecovium is not the only one in the space, of course. And that's the reason why we have started to develop the simple chain platform, because we have to move away from think in separate solutions, more think in this kind of platform way. There's also a lot of change how the product teams work, because historically our product teams were very topic driven. So coming from a transport domain, coming from a warehouse domain, coming from the shipping domain, the more we really focus on these multi-enterprise collaboration networks, the more our product teams also have to extend their business knowledge and go beyond their home domain. And of course, our product teams have to be much smarter in the ways of integrating any kind of data, any kind of system, because we see currently Ecovium internally much more discussions on how to integrate, how to collaborate on the data models we have, and less about let's find a way via some interfaces we develop, we connect. So it's a totally different way of discussing also internally. And then, of course, last but not least, which is also a very important change for us, as I said before, going in this adaptability direction. On the one hand side, we say we have standard processes, but we need to be flexible for our customers to extend those processes on certain points and certain steps in the process. So we have to talk and we have to think much more as a vendor how to provide this flexibility without losing the big benefit for our customers to build their processes on standard processes we deliver.
And how about customer benefits then? Maybe the most important thing. So it sounds like modern technology has made things a little bit easier than 50, 60 years ago, clearly. But what about the benefits? What are your customers seeing at the moment?
Yeah, partly I mentioned them already when I talked about the drivers, but there are a couple of benefits for our customers. So if you really look to from a business perspective, there is a better forecast accuracy by having this data really centralized and by having this kind of full control. There are improved order rates. There is, in many cases, also a higher customer satisfaction because our customers are able to fulfill their task in a better or faster way. In many cases, we even see reduced costs for two reasons. First of all is solution reduce the operating costs for our customers. On the other side, there is less integration effort and less integration costs. We have customers who are long-year customers with us being on a on-premise solution, and they would like to benefit from some of our cloud solutions. So with our approach of the hybrid model, we can give those customers also cloud solutions, for example, simple web portals to collaborate with their customers without a deep integration of legacy systems. So our customers have the benefit to make the step into cloud solutions in a small steps, and we are not forcing them at the end to really change their systems. Then this integration of various platforms allow also a high level of flexibility. So what we are able to do now when we bring everything together on one platform, just to give an example, when our customers ship typically with a known carrier, and this carrier might have some trouble or it's not available or whatever reason, it was difficult sometimes to really find a second carrier. with our solution, where we now really bring everything together on one platform, so we have the opportunity to offer a transport management platform as well. It allows our customers then really to open them a space to other carriers they can use to ship. That's a big benefit because our customers directly get much more flexibility in certain areas by using our solution. Then, of course, with this high level of transparency we give, in many cases, we allow our customers to move away from a proactive working into a from a reactive working into a proactive working. So it's more really to proactively see, where do I have to step in, where do I have maybe to control, and less reacting to something that goes wrong. Of course, bringing the data together on one platform, one data model, gives our customers a much higher cross-enterprise transparency, in some cases even real-time, what is in some processes needed, and a better and faster problem resolution, because we can give our customers much easier and much faster the insights. And as already mentioned, two other things are important. The SaaS solution, with the flexibility we have to combine this with on-premise solution, allow our customers to start with a minimum own investment and then grow with our platform over time. And the composability piece gives our customers the guarantee that previous investments they have done are not lost. They can keep those investments and then grow over time with adding more and more solutions. So in total, there is a bunch of advantages for our customers, and that's also what we currently see in the feedback we get.
Thank you, Andreas. So moving on, there's clearly an awful lot of news around AI and machine learning and the use of data. Some may say hype around those subjects to a certain extent, but it's clearly moved on quite quickly in recent years. Can you tell us a little bit about how data is used within supply chain collaboration and how you see it being used in the future, perhaps?
Yeah, I thought a lot about this topic and how personal the answer should be, and I give a very honest and very personal answer. So in my opinion, the whole term of AI will be overused at the moment. So in many cases, what we have called maybe a simple algorithm 10 years ago, it's now an AI model, and it's now AI on it. So first of all, I think before really thinking about AI models, we have to model the reality. So that's really the reason why we also said we invest into a common data model, in one data model, why we invest into building digital twins, because without having the reality really modeled, it's really hard to invest into AI models. Then, of course, you have to make sure that data is available and data is correct. So because if you optimize, if you start modeling with data that is not correct, the outcome will not that what you expect. And then to use AI models properly, an appropriate amount of data is needed. So AI is a lot about really finding patterns, reading in large amounts of data, finding patterns there, making decisions at the end from outcomes of large amounts of data. So if the data volume is not there, the whole topic of AI does not really make sense. And I was already involved in, for example, predictive maintenance discussions more than 4 years ago. And I just talked to a company this year that is very close to this predictive maintenance piece. And they told me they still struggle with many customers. They talk about predictive maintenance, for example, because exactly of that. Either the data volume is not there or the quality is not there. So therefore, I strongly believe that this term is currently really overused, and that in many cases, the prerequisites to really have an AI-based optimization, AI-based decisions is not there. However, AI is a is a perfect way to go to identify patterns in large amounts of data and to really make predictions and proposals based on past data. And I think for logistics, the same applies as for any other industry, for any other area. Let AI models really being implemented for tasks we as humans are bad in, and let us humans focus on tasks where we are good in. And we are humans, we are really bad in exactly going into large amounts of data, finding patterns, deriving some kind of outcomes of this kind of historic data. And there, I think AI will become much more important in logistics as it is today. But I think there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, makes sense. So at Endava, we're always looking for kind of use cases where you can make decisions based on data and apply them in the business process, right? Give the users the power to make those decisions based on data. I wouldn't necessarily call it AI or machine learning, but I guess what I've seen for a long time, and even back maybe 10 or 15 years ago when I was working for IBM and we talked about smarter commerce or smarter fulfillment, is that kind of use case where you're trying to look at data and apply it within the business process. Within supply chain collaboration, do you see any of those kind of use cases? So for instance, something like a self-healing supply chain where the system as a whole reacts to problems and perhaps allows users to either use data to apply a fix to the problem or fixes it themselves.
It's a great question, and I think it perfectly fits, Jeremy, to the AI topic we had before. So let's define first of all what self-healing or self-learning really means. In my opinion, in a system or in the boundaries of a system where a system or a model is trained on, I think supply chain disruptions or any kind of these kind of things can really be solved by a system. If we call this already self-healing, I don't know, because at the end, a lot of these kind of solutions are, of course, to a certain extent predefined. If self-healing means that a system or a model finds creative solutions for example, supply chain disruptions nobody has ever seen before, I have my doubts. Because we very often still have not standardized processes, and a real self-healing where the system becomes more independent from what a system knows from the past, I think this we won't see that soon. Maybe I underestimate the power of technology here to a certain extent, but we shouldn't forget, whenever we talk about AI or machine learning, it's still something where systems or models make decisions, give proposals based on some kind of past data, of patterns, of something that has, to a certain extent, be part of the training of a model. So therefore, if self-healing really means a system becomes really creative, I don't think so. What I think will be a very interesting case in the future in many areas, also in logistics, is that human decision making with a digital companion next to it will become more and more important. And this is already what we see in many areas as well, where a system makes a certain proposal and then the user can say, yes, that's a good proposal, we go in this direction, or maybe good starting point, but we have to adjust it here or there. I think this we will see much more, this kind of really going together, human final decision makers, but then really digital companions who deliver ideas, who deliver input, who give maybe options, and maybe even in some environments also options with, for example, probabilities that these options will solve a certain problem. That's more where I think the whole development will go towards.
Thanks, Andreas. And how about how about sustainability? It feels like supply chain collaboration would have a significant effect on the sustainability of those supply chains.
Yeah, there are a couple or multiple dimensions to it. I think in many cases we already see it today, and I think, in my opinion, this whole topic of helping customers to become more sustainable, we are far ahead already compared, for example, to AI. If you look to transport management systems, so the whole topic of transport route and cargo optimization reduces distances to drive, reduces empty drives, for example. So a very important topic around sustainability. I talked earlier today about transport management platforms, and I said that Ecovium, we are investing in this area as well. That's what we call Transport Hub. It's really about bringing together demand and supply of transport needs. And the better we match, of course, transport demands and transport supply, we can reduce empty drives. And this, of course, is then also supporting sustainability goals. There are tools or features that have, on the first view, not really a big relationship to sustainability, but take the topic of an postal address check. So there are still many returns happening because of wrong or misleading addresses. With a good and really proper address check before shipping, for example, in the B2C environment, you can really reduce at the end returns that are unnecessary. Again, this of course plays an important part in becoming more sustainable. If you look especially in the B2C fulfillment, so it's a lot about trying to avoid any paper, trying to avoid that you have to send your customers already, for example, return labels. And again, here we have invested into an orders app at Ecovium, where customers can, or users at the end, can directly print their return label when they really need to return a shipment. And it's an interesting topic that belongs to what I said at the beginning, where it was about moving away from local optimization to more global optimization. For the end user, so for me as an end customer, it might look like bad now that I have to print my own return label when I would like to send a shipment back. And that's right, if I just look at the end to me, because now I have to print, I have to use a piece of paper. But if at the end, the sender of the shipment can avoid thousands of already pre-printed return labels and put them into the shipment that are only used by those who return a shipment and simply thrown away by those who are fine with the shipment and keep the things they have ordered, it's an optimization of the overall shipment process, which makes sense from a sustainability point of view. And then, of course, when we talk about sustainability, and we had a lot of internal discussions about that, to which extent also SaaS solutions support sustainability, because if you really look to some public discussions, you say, data centers are growing, a much higher usage of power, not really sustainable. But we believe also that SaaS solutions that are properly set up will support sustainability goals as well, because in a properly set up SaaS solution, you run an optimized usage of computing resources, right? If there's no use of resources, you don't really consume them. So again, if you look to it and replacing many on-premise systems with a SaaS solution, it supports it as well. And if you go to the big hyperscalers, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, they also invest a lot really to follow sustainability goals on their data centers. So putting certain solutions there, everyone is benefiting then also from their efforts, we as a software vendor and our customers as well. by us using those hyperscalers to host solutions.
Thank you. So Endava work with a number of different 3PL and 4PL type organizations, and within those models, clearly there's a level of sharing of resources between different unrelated end customers. Are you seeing any trends around that and around the sharing of, say, logistics or transportation type resources and assets between unrelated companies, which would clearly have an effect on sustainability?
Definitely, and I think this is not just a trend. It's already there. It's already happening. If you start with the big ocean carriers, so even there's a tough fight, of course, about on the ocean and with all the container move. You see also most carriers also collaborating with each other to really transport containers. But you see it also with the fulfillers and the 3PLs, right, who try to optimize their capacity. So really combining, bundling certain shipments, certain transports on one truck, for example, to optimize the capacity. So this is not a trend; it's happening, but it's a complex topic, and it shouldn't be really underestimated, because especially when you have cross-border transports, for example, we really have to keep track of each single shipment, because for customs purposes, but also when customers, end users, return at the end certain shipments, you really have to be able to exactly identify all single pieces you might have combined as a fulfiller or as a 3PL. So it's not an easy task to do. However, it's happening. It's already there. And as a second challenge to keep in mind when fulfillers or even ocean carriers as well do not know exactly about the shipped goods. So there are certain regulations that certain goods shouldn't be placed next to each other, and sometimes it's not really, or you cannot trust at the end the information what is within a shipment. So it's a topic that fulfillers have to really keep in mind. But it's happening, it's there, and I think we already see a lot of activity in the space simply because of optimizing all transports. But for me, it also starts here with data. It starts with transparency about the processes. And I think the more data is there, the more data is existing across the enterprises. And then we are again in this kind of multi-enterprise collaboration network topic. The easier it is, and also for our customers in the fulfiller or in the 3PL space to really make this kind of sharing of capacity happen.
Excellent. Thank you, Andreas. And thank you very much for your time today. I think we're at the end of the topics we wanted to cover. I don't see any questions, but for everyone watching in the webinar, please feel free to reach out to Andreas or myself if you want to discuss these subjects further. And thanks for your time. Thank you, everyone.